Welcome back to another episode of Her Court, Her Rules. It's your girl Najah, my man's Hustle, representing that upstate.
Your big upstate shit.
Big upstate. So we back with another episode. This is episode 4 right here on Beyond the Lenz TV. So appreciate everybody for pulling up. While you're here, make sure you go ahead and pay your bills out the door. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Make sure you find us on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. We got the same handles. Go ahead, pull up on us. And so we can keep the community growing and keep talking this basketball talk here. All right, man. We got some stuff to get into today, right?
Before we start though.
Happy
Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. It's tomorrow for us. For y'all, by the time y'all see it, it's gonna be Juneteenth, or the day after. But June 19th is officially Juneteenth Day. Shout out to the government. Shout out to us. Shout out to the government for finally recognizing us and giving us that holiday. We've been celebrating the Juneteenth, as far as our people go, for years, centuries. You know what I mean? Decades and all of that. But now we get an official day. So shout out to us for that. I'm rocking my official
Big For Your Lenz.
Free Your Lenz edition. You know it. It's exclusive. You feel me? Exclusive. You feel me? But yeah, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it.
I might just go ahead and put it back on the website. For the people, you feel me? For the people, you feel me? So you looking at this video, go to freeyourlenz.com, okay? Put in HCHR for your code. You can get 10% off, okay? How about that? Happy Juneteenth to us. All right. You know, right here on Her Court, Her Rules, we always start with the weekly recap, okay? This is a weekly basketball WNBA show, okay? And we're going to start with the recap. Now, the last week in basketball and the last few days specifically, okay, has been very intense if anybody's been watching, okay? First and foremost, shout out to Angel Reese, okay?
Yeah.
Got that first triple-dub.
Yeah. That first triple-dub,
who's been talking and been chitter-chattering about what she need to do, what she ain't doing. I'm going to tell you what she has been doing. Since I've been watching her play, she's been leaving it all on the court, all between the lines. It's her court, her rules, baby. Okay?
Yeah.
So she got that triple W. Okay, so shout out to her. And a lot of times I think we are looking at her game in such a small, limited perspective and not looking at her like a future Alyssa Thomas. That's what we need to be talking about.
Yeah.
She's a point forward. Her specialty is defense, but her IQ is up there.
Yeah.
Again, she might be the best passer on their team.
Yeah.
After Vandersloot, Angel Reese is the best passer on the team.
Yeah,
that's above Ariel Atkins. That's above Haley Van Lith. Shout out to Haley though, because she getting
shout out to HBL.
Weekly recap. She got her 16 points. She got her season high, WNBA career high a few games ago.
Yeah.
This is what happens when what we say the last episode. When you play the players, when you play the rookies, especially rookies with talent. Especially a well-groomed rookie who played 5 years, like you mentioned the last episode. Again, y'all, go back and rewatch the previous episodes because we drop jewels every John. Right. So again, when you play her, she's going to give you results eventually, and we just saw that. And now Angel Reese is showing the world, I'm good with this rock. You heard? I can do whatever you need me to do. And so, like we said before, when she was talking to the commentator, she said, I can't speak for everybody else, okay, but I know what I need to do, and I know that I can bring more to the game. And that's what we're seeing, and that's what we saw. So shout out to her. Shout out to Tyler Marsh for finally playing Haley Van Lith for significant minutes, okay, because you need a point guard. And she can really fill that void if you give her the space, time, and opportunity to do so.
Right.
So shout out to Chicago Sky. They had a couple hiccups, okay, with the Mystics game. That's okay though. That's okay. I love the growth and I love the effort that I'm seeing with all the players on the court. Okay, so that's the one weekly recap. You want to add anything to the Chicago Sky last week?
Even then, shout out to Kid Nurse. I know
shout out to Kid Nurse.
Some people are not too big on her, but if she knocked down shots, that's what they need her to do, man. Like even in that game, Angel probably could have had like 15 assists, right? It was a lot of wide open, missed wide open shots.
Yep.
But she could have probably had 15, 16 assists that game. Last game she had another 5. So she making plays. Making plays. She just need people to make the shots when she give them the rock. Yeah. Even if they don't make it for her to get the assist or whatever. But she's doing her thing. Again, shout out to Kid Nurse for knocking down the shots.
Yeah.
Ariel Atkins.
Yeah.
She doing what she got to do. Her and the skyscrapers. That's what we gonna call them. Her Camilla skyscrapers. They both just had a double-double.
Come on
if Camilla, which I think she had 18 and 10. So if Camilla is giving you 18 and 10 a game, even if 15 and 9 a game, they still lost though. That's the main thing. That's messed up. They did lose. They did lose that game. They both had a double-double. This is not the triple-double game. The triple-double game, the Sky won. I'm speaking on the last game. Yeah. When her and Camilla both had a double-double, they lost. But again, they need more help. But if them two is gonna give you double-doubles every game, it's gonna get spooky.
It's gonna get spooky. I mean, they lost to the Mystics by 7, right?
Yeah.
And they were dominating the first half.
Right.
So this is not a new trend, right? We're seeing teams, and if you've been watching these games, we're seeing teams have dominating performances in the first half and then forget all that game in the locker room in third quarter. Okay. Right. Look at my Las Vegas Aces. Talk about weekly recap. Okay. Mm-hmm. Asia Wilson, get well soon. We miss you. Boo. Come on, big head. We ready for you. Us Aces fans are miserable out here looking at. It's a
big difference.
Don't know what you gonna get?
Yes, that's a fact.
You don't know what you're gonna get. So I love seeing the young players again, like we said last week. Tyler Marsh just got to call a spade a spade. This is Angel's team. This is Camilla Cardoso's team.
Right
now, when you get Haley in here, and if she's can give you 12 points and about 4 or 5 assists a game right now,
right
now you got your core youth young team that can dominate in the W in the next 3 to 4 years, right? They still need pieces, you know what I mean, and consistent pieces. I like Rebecca Allen. She's been on a little slump recently, right? That's okay. I think she still has a good amount of effort. That if the J ain't dropping, that's okay. As long as you playing defense, hustling, getting on the boards, you know what I mean, diving on the court, the jumper gonna fall. So I'm just liking what I'm seeing from effort standpoint and then from result standpoint. Maybe not in the win-loss column, but you got Angel getting the rebound, or you got Angel blocking the shot, grabbing the deflection, bring the ball down the court, moving the ball. The ball got energy. The ball has life, and then the open person is getting the ball, knocking the shot. That's what you want to see. You know what I mean? Whether they win or lose the game, that ain't the issue right now, because
they play good basketball.
Exactly. And even if you win the game, the reality of it is when you fast forward to the playoffs, y'all ain't gonna do no damage. So right now, you just need to really build the camaraderie, build the rapport, see if this is your coach for the future, develop your game. You got to do all that in the season, okay? Because playoffs, don't even think about the playoffs. It ain't happening. So.
I mean, even if they make the AFC, right? So, even if technically they make the AFC, because it's not like really they won 3 games. The bottom half of the standings is like, you never really know. Yeah. But for them, I feel like they got to figure out the point guard situation. Like, I fuck with Sluty. I mess with Sluty. You know what I mean? But she 36. She got her 2 chips. I don't know how, and then now she about to be coming off ACL next year. So I don't know how much she gonna have in the tank.
Yeah.
So say she come back next year, if she don't retire. Yeah. Even if she come back, we don't know. Like I said, once you get older in age, yeah. For us people that's up there in age, we know, and then we hear about it. We know we don't hear the same. You know, whether you working out, whether you coming off injury, whether you having a long night, you had a long weekend, you don't recover the same either way, right? So exactly. Say Sluy don't come back, or even if she come back, but she not herself, she come back just to say she don't want to leave on that type of note. All right, in her career like that, all right, bet. What you gonna do with the point guard situation? So I feel like that's what they gonna have to figure out between the rest of this season, all season, going into next season, and I feel like that's gonna be their main thing to get them over that hump. Is gonna be that point guard situation. Like, I like HVL. You know what I mean? I like her. I don't, hopefully she get into the starting role. She get more, like you said, she has 16 points. She playing better defense, because I feel like, in the W, it's easier to help her, right? Yeah. That was one thing when she was at LSU. That one year she was getting cooked. She was getting cooked. But
it was nasty work when she was at LSU.
Yeah, it was nasty work, and they was they would just leave her on the island. Yeah, like, and that's where I feel like, come on now, you gotta hide them. We spoke about that previous episode. You gotta hide certain players. You just have to do it. There's no knock on that player. Yeah, it's just as a coach, as a strategy, as a mindset. Like, okay, this person not Steph Curry, right? We always go to the men's side, go back to the women's side. Like Steph Curry, he just started being okay to where they kind of leave him by himself. But championship years, he was getting Kyrie cooking him. But he had Clay. He had Draymond, still got Draymond, but back then had Clay, had Iggy. You know what I mean? So he had players, great defensive players. Looney, he had KD once he got there. They had great defensive players. So it's like four great defensive, and then one is like, again, we could hide them. So for now, you got to hide HVL. Okay, she's going to get better. She's not going to have a choice. She's going to have to, over time, she's going to get better. These are grown women. These are grown. And what you going to do? You have to get better, right? So I feel like for the Sky, keep the skyscrapers for sure. Keep Camilla. I feel like her, as long as she gets more comfortable, she's going to keep getting better. Mm-hmm. She's going to be good. She's going to be real good. They just got to figure out the point guard situation.
Yep, I think I agree. I think that's their biggest weakness. And then once they dial that in, they could be, I think, them and the Mystics, right? Yeah. They are the Eastern teams that people need to be worried about. Yeah, I mean, not just on the East, because once you get to the playoffs, it's up. Like,
because it's the top 8. Yeah, top 8. Yeah.
So, but like, I'm looking at, the East, right? So you got New York, okay? They're 10-1. Atlanta Dream just lost a big game to New York that we can go ahead and tap in, because they shouldn't have lost that game. Yeah. They're 8-4. Indiana Fever are 6-5. Now we know Caitlin missed 4 games or so. Yeah. So as soon as she came back, they got back to winning. All right. Mystics are 5-7. Chicago 3-8. Connecticut Sun 2-9. So when you look at the East, now next year I think we're getting another team, Toronto. So you could probably put them.
And Portland. Oh, you're talking about the East. Yeah,
the East. Yeah.
In the East. Yeah.
But are Toronto and Portland coming the same year? I can't remember.
Yeah, they both come next year. Yeah. Okay, they both come next year. Yeah.
So it'll still be a little bit of unbalance in the conferences. But when you think that new team comes over to the East, then what's going to happen, right? Are they going to be the worst team in the East? Because if you look at the Valkyries not they saying, no, we playing. We about to play. Okay.
Right now, they would be in the playoffs. They're a 7th seed. Golden State, they're the 7th seed to be an expansion team. So if the playoffs started today, which obviously we got like 30 games to go, but if they started today, Golden State would be in the playoffs.
They're going to be in the playoffs, right? And they got the same record as the Aces, right? So when you look at those, the West is stacked, right? Mm-hmm. The West, it seems like they always going to be stacked.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care what we're talking about, men or women's basketball.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like the West is just, it is what it is. But you looking at Golden State Valkyries, they're right up on the Aces. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, Aces haven't had Asia for a few games. I think it's 3 games right now. They're 1-2 or either 1-3. Whether it's 2 or 3 games, I can't remember. But when they play head to head, it was obvious who was the better team, Valkyries or the Aces. Now, ironically, the Valkyries coach was the assistant coach for the Aces.
For the Aces, yep. She got a ring with them. Yep. She got a chip with them. Yep.
And yep. When you watch them play, again, it all comes down to what Becky Hammond says. I'm not going to coach effort. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Okay, because the team that plays the hardest in the W is going to win. Mm-hmm. Because this is not like the NBA where you gotta score 115 points to win a game.
Right.
Minimum. If you try to hover around 105 points, you might get blew out by 20 points.
Right.
So if you catch a team that's playing with great effort and don't let a couple threes start falling, because in the W you can get beat significantly in the paint. Mm-hmm. He's got to be hitting shots on the outside. Right. You get beat in the paint. Mm-hmm. Now, if you got a team like the Valkyries is playing with incredible amount of effort, you got a team like the Washington Mystics that's playing with an incredible amount of effort. Shout out to coaching. Okay. Shout out to understanding what our skills are, what our weaknesses are, what our strengths are. Sidebar. In business, it's called a SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. As a coach, you better know what it is on your team. You better know who can do what, who can't do what. Like we said, some people on defense, you might need to hide them. Mm-hmm. Some people on offense, like a Caitlin Clark, you know what she gonna give you on the offensive side. You know what she can give you passing. You know her IQ was up there. But defensively, you might want to hide her. Right. Okay, you might want to hide her. So if you got somebody with some good handles, it might be smoking boots out there. Mm-hmm. So when you got a team, when teams are playing with a great amount of effort and a few shots are falling, look at Chicago when they were just playing the Mystics, incredible amount of effort and shots were falling, right? Mm-hmm. It's a different look in the league now when everybody's bringing their A game. Yeah. So again, shout out to the most competitive league on the planet. That is the WNBA. Okay, don't get no more competitive than this.
That's a fact.
For the weekly recap, okay, so we talked about a little bit about who shined. Okay, so we talked about some teams. Who do you think in the last week lost their luster?
I feel like who lost it? I feel like, Las Vegas without Asia, that's gonna tell what that team was about, right?
Yeah.
So when Chelsea was out, right? Shout out to the point guard. They were able to. I mean, it still hurt them.
Yeah.
But you still got Jackie, right? So you still got Jackie Young. I mean, at the time you still had Kelsey Plum. You still had Asia. So it was like, okay, it's like, oh, we lost. Now, mind you, I'm talking about previous years. I'm not talking about this. It's like, yeah, she wasn't playing, but you had other players. Okay, cool. But without Asia, that's the MVP.
That's the MVP. And not just the MVP, but the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
That too. So you're losing a lot. You're losing a lot with her not playing until she comes back, which she's about to miss another game. So I feel like that. I feel like I will go with the Aces. Other than that, I feel like everybody else is kind of on the same trajectory that they've been on the last like week or so. I feel like New York, we lost against Indiana, but then you win against the Dream. The Dream 8-4, you lose, you winning, cool. Connecticut is gonna be how Connecticut is gonna be this year. So I feel like if we say who's lost it within the week, since this is a weekly conversation we're having, I would have to go with Las Vegas. I feel like everybody else is either winning or losing how they've been doing. Like, it's not really too much of a difference. It's not like somebody outside of them, or not even them, but I'm saying outside of them, nobody that was winning 3 games is on the 3-game losing streak right now. Know that we wouldn't expect that to be that. Not that. That's what I mean. So loss, I would say, Las Vegas until Asia comes back. Once she comes back, they're gonna be good. They should still make the playoffs because it's not like a significant injury, so they should still make the playoffs. But if we going from last Wednesday to this Wednesday, then I would have to go with Las Vegas.
And I would agree. For the main reason that, like, again, with the Asia loss, that's a significant loss. If she was on any team, you would feel that void.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard to feel that void, right?
For sure.
But also, like when we talk about the tale of two halves, right? They just play a completely different game in the second half than they play in the first half. And so I'm just confused as for, like, we know the personnel off the bench is not the same. We understand it. I want to give a little bit of a shout out to Kirsten Bell, who I've been riding her for 3 straight seasons, trying to figure out why she on the team. She don't get no minutes. She don't get no tick. When she out there, she look confused. And these last couple of games, you can tell that her confidence is building a little bit. And she's trying to play with a little bit more momentum. She knocked down a couple threes. So, just shout out to her. Like, just continue to improve your game, because, again, in this W, you don't know when your number going to get called. You don't know if you're going to be out of a job. So it's important that you maximize every minute that you get on the court. Another person, Aaliyah Nye, I'm sorry. When she gets in the game, she was a player that in the start of the season, her defense was a little suspect. They were really attacking her. And since Asia's been out, her defense has improved. So 2 things happens, right? Your team find out who they are as a team, and then individually you find out that, hey, so I can do this. I thought I was weak here, but now when the team needs you to step up, you got one job. You gotta step up. Like, there is no option. You know what I mean? So I would agree that the team that's lost their luster for the last week, that's trending downward, would be the Las Vegas Aces. But again, when Asia come back, I'm sure, just like you're sure, that's going to change.
For sure. Yeah.
And she probably going to go, in my mind, she probably go, when she comes back, those first 2-3 games, she's about to get out the way. Just get out the way. She's about to go dark. 0 dark 30 for them first couple of games, because just like when Chelsea came back last year, they were at the 50-50 mark when Chelsea came back. And when she came back, I think they ran off like 3 or 4 straight. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, okay? But when you do what you need to do, when you bring that energy back to the court, back to your team feels it, and it's just a boost.
Yeah.
And obviously Chelsea's going to feel that. Jackie's going to feel that, and all the way down to the bench. I know Kia Stokes can't wait for AJ to get back. I know she's tired of running around, setting pick and rolls, trying to get the rebound. She out here trying to be an offensive threat. She not. But that's okay. She trying at least. So.
Yeah, hopefully that'll help Jewel Lloyd too. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully that'll help her find her niche on the team. She got to get comfortable, man. Like, there's no way, you going from winning championships, because she won a W championship. She won a Commissioner's Cup with Seattle. A pivotal point in that, obviously. And then you going to Las Vegas, and now you kind of just like a 3-point shooter. That's kind of how she's been looking so far.
Yeah.
Before Asia's injury. She's just looking like a spot-up shooter, and that's not her game. Not saying she can't shoot, but that's not her game.
No, she could just do so much more. So when you reduce her to being because right now that's what Kia Stokes is, right?
Right.
She's just in the corner.
Right.
Okay, but she ain't shooting 43% from three. Right. So I don't even know why she's out there. Get your, but don't even. That's for the Scuff My Timbs segment.
Yeah. And another thing too, like you said, to your point of when Asia do come back, she's gonna ball. Just look at this year. I know you said Chelsea was last year, but even look at this year when Paige Buckets came back, what she did over 30.
Come on.
What Kia Jackson did when she came back, 30.
Come on.
What Caitlin Clark doing when she came back, over 30.
Come on.
So that was all the same night. That was a crazy night. That was like last Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like 3. It was 3, and then Chelsea Gray, she didn't come back with injury. But if we speak on that same night, she had 28 that same night.
Yeah.
But speaking of the ones that came off the injury, all 30s. I was happy. Yep. I love Rickea Jackson. You feel me? So so for her to get 30, I'm like, ooh. If she, obviously she ain't gonna be getting 30 all the time. But if she get to the point to her bag is she getting better.
Bro, I seen her. I ain't gonna hold you. I seen Rickea. She at the mid post.
She doing fadeaways.
She did a fadeaway off of one leg.
One leg though. One leg. Yeah.
Yo, she second year, bro. Come on, bro. And I ain't gonna hold you. One of the best people to watch in the post right now is Kiki Area Finn.
Oh yeah, shout out to Kiki. Right.
She got game.
Yeah, facts.
She got game. But what I do like, see, and this is what I like, smoke in the city. Whoever wants smoke, what's up? Come on.
Shout out to whoever wants smoke. Let them smoke.
Come on, man. Come on.
Let them smoke.
Come on. This is what I like. When Kiki is in a post and Angel Reese said, no, give me the ball. And Angel Reese said, nah, she too little. She ain't got what I got. And I'm like, okay. So speaking of the recap, right? I love watching certain players, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I'm watching Angel, I'm like, her offensive IQ of what she wants to do and what needs to happen is unprecedentedly high for her age, right? Mm-hmm. Now the skill just needs to get there because I'm seeing her when she got the ball now because now she's a stretch point forward. That's
forward. Yeah, we give her that.
So she in the ball high lower post, but she's on a baseline, right? So she got the ball posted up. Kiki just checking her, and she do a little fake shimmy. And then she come back around and you could tell that she want to spin back, but she ain't got the footwork yet. But she want to do it because I see her. She like, I can't get around. You ain't going to be able to get around Kiki doing, you also have to have great footwork too because Kiki got defense.
Right.
You feel me? So she ain't just a one-trick pony. So I'm watching Angel, I'm watching Kiki, and I'm watching this showdown between these two young post players. And I'm like, this remind me of the back in the day, like when you had the Sparks versus Houston, right? You got Lisa Leslie and Tina Thompson down there. You like, who's gonna get it? Lisa giving you buckets, Tina giving you buckets. They both got defense. You meaning they got kick out guards. They got all the pieces that you need. They had both teams had. So just watching these two post players at such young ages really dominate their teams and take over and let the world know, let the W know, but also let the collective WNBA players like, I'm not one to sleep on. I don't care if it's defense, don't come down here. I might block your shot. Okay. If it's offense, I might give you a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. And Kiki right now, she averaging 13 and 9 as a rookie.
Come on, man. She I mean, you got her, Paige, Citron.
Yeah.
These are our top 3 rookies right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once Hayden start getting some more minutes, we don't know what her stats are gonna look like fast forward the season.
Yeah.
Once she gets more minutes and get more comfortable in the offense, or when they start to actually devise an offense, because I don't really even think they got one. But once they really start to create an offense based on the personnel that they have today, not what they used to have, not what they want to have. I'm talking about you got Haley, you got Angel, you got Camilla. Get it done. Okay, with what you have. It still may mean some tough losses, but it is what it is. Play hard, and we're gonna leave it all on the line. So, and that's talking about. We can get right into the Commissioner's Cup preview, right? We had a great game to close out the Commissioner's Cup. June 17th was ridiculous with all the games that was on WNBA. I know the Cup is the end season is what y'all really pushing. Y'all got to do better. Do better. I don't want to have to be flipping through, breaking my brain. It's 4 games at 7. It's 3 at 10. I'm trying to flip back and forth. I'm only grateful that the NBA Finals wasn't yesterday.
And then there's no game the next day. Like, you know what I mean? You got 3-4 games one day, like you said, same time, and then the next day is literally no games.
Right. Yeah, like what's that? So, it was a flurry of games, great competition, a lot of scuffles, a lot of intense play. And I guess I just must have to be grateful for the in-season tournament, because even though I feel like we would have got that intense play on a random Tuesday, I don't think it would have been the way it was if it wasn't for the last day of the Commissioner Cup's games, right? Which brings us to this. We got Indiana versus the Lynx.
And I'm upset about that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, this might go into the What Scuffs My Tim's segment, so I don't know.
Come on.
But because we talking about the Commissioner's Cup right now, the one game that the Liberty lose, you lose to the Fever, and not against the Fever, but you lose to the Fever in the Commissioner's Cup.
Yeah.
And now that's the reason that you're not in the Commissioner's Cup championship.
It's really ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. My mind was blown when they was talking about all the different scenarios. Well, if Atlanta loses and Indiana wins, or if the Liberty win, and I'm like, ho.
I'm like, how?
Because of the best out of those 5 Commissioner Cups games.
Right.
And so Indiana was 4-1. Liberty was 4-1.
4-1. But Indiana got the head-to-head. But my whole thing was I never even knew of the head-to-head situation until 2 days ago. Because up until 2 days ago, I always heard it's going by the record. And then if it's a tie, then it goes by the points differential.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, the Liberty been blowing everybody else. We good. But then, like you said, once they said the scenarios, Indiana, as long as Indiana won, basically they were, after they beat the Liberty, as long as Indiana won, they were basically in the championship. I'm looking. I had to go to the laptop. Like,
yeah. Because when we talked about it, we said, it ain't gonna be no tiebreaker, right? But when Caitlin came back, these fools kept winning. You feel me? Like, Indiana kept winning. So obviously she's the engine. We already knew that. She's the motor. She's the battery. We already knew that. So you got to expect when your best player come back, you're going to get some W's after that.
Yeah.
But New York Liberty, when they play Indiana, it's like they were shook.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening here?
But I'm not going to lie. But I ain't going to lie. The first game that they played earlier this year, New York won, but New York, we only won by 2 points. And that might be the best game. That's probably top 3 best games of the season so far, this first quarter of the season. So if y'all didn't watch the first game between New York and Indiana, that's the game that Caitlin got hurt, actually. You know, so if she didn't get hurt, I mean, you don't even really know how that game really would have went. Yeah. But that was one of the best games so far this season, as far as like wire to wire, first quarter to fourth quarter. Was the very first game. That was May 24th. So the May 24th game between the Liberty and the Fever, the Liberty only won by 2 points. So to be honest, I'm not too surprised. I'm watching the second game. I mean, I watched the first game too, but we're talking about the second game, and I'm watching the game. Like Caitlin was going off, man. Her and Stewie, they was going back and forth. Yeah. They was going back and forth, but I ain't gonna lie, Caitlin was going crazy. I like when a player is doing that good, regardless of if you like that person or not, that player or not, that person, that team, you just gotta respect it.
You gotta give them I can have my feelings about whoever I want to have my feelings about, but I'm non-biased when it comes to the game. If you got game, you got game. It just is what it is. All right. So for the finals, the Cup finals this year, we have returning the Minnesota Lynx to defend their Cup honor. Okay. And then they're going to be facing, we already broke down how, the Indiana Fever. I'm excited because I think Indiana has something to prove. Yeah. But I think the point that Minnesota is going to prove is going to get dark for them, to be honest. I'm expecting the 15-point at least win. Okay. The Lynx came back to be the Aces without Nafisa, and Aces didn't have Asia. And Aces didn't know what to do with Courtney Williams, okay?
Yeah.
What to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Courtney has great defense, and her instincts, her basketball instincts are up there. She is going to show you that you're going to need to where you going to hide Caitlin? Where you going to hide Caitlin against the Lynx? You going to hide her on McBride? No. You going to hide her on Courtney Williams? No.
Yeah. I mean,
if Caitlin don't drop 35 points, they're going to get smoked.
Right. Yeah. And like you were saying on defense, I mean, I don't know because Courtney is physical as far as like how she plays. So I don't feel like Caitlin could keep up with that as far as defensively to offensively. And then if she checked McBride, she just will have to hope Kayla miss shots. I mean, she a 40% three-point shooter, 90% damn near from the free throw line. So she would just have to hope that Kayla is just missing shots that game.
Yeah.
And again, this game is July 1st and in Minnesota. So that's going to play a big part too.
Cup champions.
Yeah, it's gonna play a big part. If it was in Indiana, they have the home court advantage. It's going to be some Indiana fans because what I've noticed this year, really last year, but especially this year, Indiana fans do travel well.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think like Indiana and Minnesota not that far. It's not like East Coast to even though it's East Conference and West, it's not like it's California, New York, to where they got to travel far to make it to the game. Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of Indiana fans in the building, but it's not Indiana as far as the home court goes. So I feel like that's definitely going to play a factor in that too.
Yeah.
You got to say, I don't know, like you said, 15 points, but if Caitlin been on she been on one since she came back. I mean, she kind of been on one all year, to be honest.
Yeah.
But these last two games, she really been on one. So I got her plus 25. I'll give her at least 25 points. And then we just gonna see what happened. I know in the previous episode too, I know you were saying that you feel like the 1-2 would be, or you thought it would be, or still think is more or less how they gel or how they end up. But as far as like the top duels in the league, Caitlin and Kelsey.
Yeah.
For me though, I like Kelsey. I like her as the third option. For me, my whole thing would be like, how would Caitlin and AB, Aaliyah Boston be? Because I feel like that pick and roll could be a mean thing. And it was a big difference. Yeah. And it was a big difference as far as like AB's production.
Yeah.
Because Caitlin, she missed 5 games, right? So the 5 games that she missed, it wasn't the same as far as like AB getting the touches. She wasn't getting the same touches. Because Kelsey, because Kelsey, she a point guard, but she not like a she only averaged like 2 assists, right? She's not a point guard to where like she's gonna facilitate. Like she passed, she's not a hog, but I feel like the offense is definitely run different when it's Kelsey and when it's Caitlin. Caitlin right now is leading the league in assists right now. And you could tell, like I said, it's a big difference. I mean, she do a lot of the get the rebound or they give her the outlet, she throw it down court, and that's how she get probably 3 of her assists a game, but it's still different. Like with her playing, I feel like, but then you got AB, I'm assuming Fee gonna check her, so she ain't gonna just be able to do whatever she want to do. But I feel like that pick and roll is gonna put Minnesota in a little bit of a bind. But so I feel like, to be honest, it could go either way. I'm not even gonna lie. It depends on which Caitlin we get. If she give you 5 turnovers, if she get 5 turnovers or more than 3, because she gonna get you 2 turnovers. She gonna get 2 turnovers. But I'm not mad at. I wouldn't be mad at that as a coach. I'm not mad at that as watching it, because like, okay, she's trying to get other players the ball. So she's going to get 2 turnovers a game. That's going to happen. But if they get to 4 and 5, it's like, okay, you're trying to do too much, and that's going to cost them the game.
And see, I come from a mindset whereas I don't care how great you are offensively. As a point guard, your job is to not give them extra possessions.
That's a fact.
Rajon Rondo, Chris Paul. Yeah. We just looked at Halliburton drop 20 points, 11 assists, no turnovers.
Yeah.
So I think her biggest issue for me is she likes to force things. Yeah. So she likes to, I know you want to get the ball into the paint, but if it ain't there, don't.
Right.
I ran enough suicides.
Right.
Turning over the ball. I ran enough suicides. I'm triggered by just the thought of down and back, hit the line, I can't even think about that. Right. So I feel like if you turn the ball over enough, and you got a coach, like I had coaches that be like, every time you turn the ball over, I ain't talking about when somebody is just D'ing you up and they, you know what I mean, they pick your pockets. I'm talking about when you just make a bad pass.
Yeah.
You had a bad read. Like, I see what you was trying to do, but it wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Down and back. I think that with the Lynx, they have way too many defenders that they can put on Caitlin. And that's what I think the problem is going to be. Like you said, if the others, if Kelsey Mitchell is not being Kelsey Mitchell, then there are times where she just takes a step back. Mm-hmm. So when Caitlin is going off, it seems like Kelsey is either watching or just not in action. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to be in the action when your point guard is taking shots from 30 feet. It's hard.
Right. Yeah.
Just to be honest, because think about it. I just played bust my A on defense.
Mm-hmm.
My point guard just did some dancing and got the shot up. Mm-hmm. Not ran through the offense. See, when it's a difference because Steph not coming down pulling from 3.
Yeah. I mean, every now and again. Every now and again.
Ha. Step back 3. That's not his game. Yeah. His game is running off 3 picks, 4 picks, down the back. And then once you take one step off or you get caught on that screen, then he gonna shoot it.
Yeah. Unless he hot, then he start wilding. If he hot,
if he get hot, it's over with. Everything going up. Everything going up. But see, you got people like the Draymonds who are not scorers, right? Mm-hmm. Who the Pajinskis, they rely on Steph to get hot and then open up the floor. Mm-hmm. See, but when Caitlin gets hot, the floor don't open up. Mm-hmm. It's not like we're going to put 3 people on Caitlin and then let it. No. It's just Caitlin is hot. Mm-hmm. So we got to see the progression of when she is turned up and how that is actually affecting the offense as a whole, not just her plus minus. I'm talking about as a whole. So I think that when you have somebody like a Diamond Miller who can come off the bench, who got length, who got quick feet, lateral speed and quickness, and she's aggressive. We thought Ryan Howard did a great job on Caitlin Clark. Wait till Diamond Miller gets on Caitlin Clark. Mm-hmm. I've been high on Diamond since college days, right? She heard the beginning of her career in the W has just been kind of plagued with a couple injuries, but she's on the best team possible to get over them injuries and show that I'm still her though. Like I can still score, rebound, put points up, and handle the rock. So similar to a Rickea Jackson, they got the same game. They just on different teams, whereas their game isn't being highlighted in the same manner. LA know what they got with Rickea. Okay. The Lynx, I think they know what they have now with Diamond Miller. And as the season progresses, I think it's going to get even crazier for her progression. But I think with Elena Smith, they got a lot of people that they can put on Caitlin. And it's not the same for their number one hitter. How many people from Indiana can actually check Nafisa? It ain't Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston gonna have to check Nafisa from the tip.
Yeah.
She gonna have to check her from, this is a 3-level scorer. So if she's the power forward and Aaliyah Boston is your power forward, or who you gonna put, Natasha Howard on her? No. You gonna put DeWanna Bonner on?
You can't do that. Try? Yeah, I'm only because she long, but
only because she long.
That's the only way you could put DB on her, and then AB going back to Aaliyah Boston. I mean, like you said, off the tip, that's who's going to more than likely be on her, but she got to stay out of foul trouble. That's been her problem.
It's her problem.
She can't stay out of foul trouble. If she can stay out of foul trouble, okay, because even if she don't stop fee, she might come down, give you a double-double. She could give you a double-double easy. Yeah. But it's just for her, it's just a matter of like if she's going to stay out of foul trouble or not. And Fee going to get to the foul line. That's one thing she's going to do is get to the free throw line.
She's smart.
That's the whole thing. Like you said, they don't really got that many, especially this year. Fee is wilding this year. So there's not too many people in the W that could guard her. So if you're talking about Indiana, it's going to be tough. And it's just a matter of like what type of game Fee. If she going to have an off night. She really hasn't had an off night this year yet.
She ain't going to have one. I'm going to tell you right now. You call me Miss Cleo. I'm going to tell you right now, fast forward to July 1st. She's not going to have an off night. She's not going to, because she sat out the second half of the Aces game. The lower back injury, we don't know if it's significant or not. I haven't seen any reports stating that it is significant.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anything. Yeah.
So, with that being said, I feel like she knows what she's doing. I'm in the running for the MVP. It's pretty darn clear. Yeah. Okay, unless something crazy happens, or if Asia come back and she start averaging 30 points for the next 10 games,
right?
She gonna make it hairy again. But I think that not only with Nafisa, I think she just got too many weapons that are proven weapons. Courtney, Heidelman, Shepard, McBride. Like you can't even try to double Nafisa. You can't even hedge. You like, I'm gonna sag that. She too tall, too long. You talking about a deep bag.
Yeah.
From every area of the court. She got post bag. She got 3 bags. She got jab step, take you off the dribble bag. She got rebound. I'm just going to keep the ball back. It's too much she can do. And I think we're going to be in for a good game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I will tell you that. I hope
for sure.
I hope the refs know what they're doing, because it's going to get intense. So from the tip, referees, pull up. From the tip off, I'm gonna need for y'all to have that whistle in there. If it started to get a 2, because that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
We're at a pivotal point in the W where teams just simply don't like playing Indiana. They don't like playing Indiana for several reasons. We don't have to break them down right now. But when you know that, especially when Indiana is on the road, you gotta know, and this is a big game, you gotta know that, like you said, Indiana fans are gonna travel. This will be a home game for Minnesota, but it might not feel just like at home. It might not feel like, we got the crowd tonight. It might feel like, and Indiana fans, they don't just be coming from Indiana. They be everywhere.
Right. They everywhere, right?
They be everywhere. Shout out. It's like the Browns fans. Browns fans, the worst team in the league, been the worst team for a long time. But the fans be outside in droves. It don't matter who they play. They could be in Tampa. They could be in San Francisco. You're going to have a world full of Browns fans at that game. Yep. Indiana is the same way. And boy, I tell you, like you said, Minnesota not that far.
Yeah.
So I probably would think you probably going to have a good 20%, 25% Indiana fans in that crowd.
Yeah.
That's a significant number.
Right. That's a fact.
And so if they get off the board quick and they get some good runs in them, we're going to have to breathe. But what we do know about the Lynx is that they are a very well composed, mature team. They don't have a lot of young whippersnappers on this team. They got mature WNBA players. And they know how to ride the wave. They know what we hear in the NBA, the commentators always say, it's a game of runs. It's a game of runs.
It is.
You got to know that Indiana, they have a lot of motivation. They have the roster is packed of players that can give you buckets. Outside of Caitlin, we said that before. Outside of Caitlin, the roster is still it will still be a great roster.
Yeah.
You take Caitlin off and put any old guard as the point guard. Take Caitlin off and put Vandersloot there. Take Caitlin off and put it don't even have to be a star, right? It don't have to be like a Clark or anybody like, just put any old guard there. You still got a dominant, formidable team. And so we gonna see the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and this year so far, like I said, Caitlin missed the last fight. Well, not the last 5 games, but she missed 5 games. In that 5 games, they went 2-3.
Yeah.
So it's not like they ain't win no games without her. They went 2-3. So just imagine, like you said, if they had just any good point guard, like they had a feeling, they had a feeling, a real good feeling, right? But they had a feeling they still went 2-3. The month of June so far, 4-1.
Yep.
So they're, it's like the first few games it was kind of rocky.
They had to figure it out.
They had to figure it out. But 2-3 without Caitlin, and then 4-1 for this month that include Caitlin. Without Caitlin, they doing their thing, man. So that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be definitely a good game. I don't know who I got winning. I'm not gonna say who I got winning. I can say that I hope Aaliyah Boston stays out of foul trouble, and if Caitlin go for 25 plus, I wouldn't be surprised. Fee?
40.
Yeah, she might get 40.
That's the thing about it. You can say, Caitlin, you're gonna have to give me 30 points, 12 assists, and 5 boards. And one thing about her, she gonna actually go out there and try to get it.
Yeah.
Like she gonna be like, oh, this is what I need to do so we can win. I'm gonna do my best to try to at least get the points and at least get the assists.
But Kayla is a gamer though. Kayla McBride, she's a gamer. Like she's a baller overall, but she's a gamer. Yeah. So she gonna step up too. So she might give you 25. So if she give you 25, Fee give you 20 plus. Courtney give, she gonna give her 16, 17. That's that's what she gonna do. She gonna play physical. She gonna play good defense. So overall, Minnesota, I feel like Minnesota is probably gonna overpower Indiana.
They just got too many weapons.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
and they just consistent. You know what I mean? Because Indiana has weapons too, so there's no shade to anybody on the squad. They got plenty of weapons, but it ain't consistent. You feel me? Like we know exactly they're the 9-1, 10-1 for a reason.
Yeah,
it's because they've consistently, and they've been blowing people out too.
Yeah,
so they've been consistent with dominating on both sides of the court, offense and defense. It's how they got back into the game with the Aces. They were down by 15. They defended to get back into the game. They ain't do nothing slick. They wasn't like, oh, let's just try to get back. At some point you got to get stops.
Right.
And so that's where the difference between Indiana and the Lynx are. For me, it's just I'm putting my money on who do I think is going to get more stops. And it's going to be Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think they could just do way too much on the defensive side. On top of the people they got coming off of the bench. Yeah, that's still keeping that high energy on the defensive side. So Indiana, Sophie, where you at? You gonna have to be the brawler, the bruiser. But it probably ain't gonna work against Minnesota. No. I'm just gonna say
it's a different team.
Different team. All right. That leads us right into don't scuff my Timbs, bro.
Oh no, please don't.
Please don't scuff my Timbs, bro.
Don't scuff my Timbs, man.
I got the little, do you treat your Timbs with the little waterproof spray and all that?
Yeah, that and the little brush, little.
Yeah. So when somebody trying to get, when you might scuff your own Timbs just getting in and out the car, your boot hit the other boot, you like, hey.
Yeah.
So you got to go back home. But
Or you got the little eraser too. Some people don't know too. A eraser. Yes. For the people that wear Timbs, on some New York shit, we know because we did what we do. Exactly. You know what I mean? You might not got the whole kit on, so I'm outside. I'm outside. The kit is for when I'm back at the build, the end of the night or early morning. Because I might depend on my night when I might not feel like doing it that night. All right, I'm gonna do it in the morning when I get. Oh, I did scuff them. All right, but while I'm out, the eraser is going to do it most of the time.
Yep, you pull up at a Dollar Tree. Get that eraser drawn.
So this is the segment, man. We just started this segment. It is Don't Scuff My Timbs.
Please don't.
Also, What Scuffs My Timbs? Which is going to be the segment basically that pisses us off, man. Yep. It's just something that's happened, in the last week, because again, this is a weekly episode. So within the last week, whether it's in sports, whether it's outside of sports, what made us mad, what's aggravated us within this last week, man. So welcome to the segment.
All right, so you want to kick it off or shall I?
Oh, you go ahead. I know your drink Scuff, so I know you go ahead. You're in Scuff.
I woke up this morning with the brush like, oh hell no. Not my Timberland. But look, okay, so again, we talk about the intensity in the W, the physicality in the W, the competitive nature that has just taken over the W, and it's been here since the inception of the W. We've been around since, like we said, the Lisa Leslie's, the Tina Thompson, the Dawn Stalleys. We've been around for a long time, right? It's always been physical. But recently, over the last week, I'm just seeing a level of physicality that don't belong, right? I seen a ponytail get. To the point my girl tucked her braids.
Now she tuck them in now. They tuck now. Now they tuck. Yeah, you see peep that, right? Yeah. I said, okay, they tuck now. She's smart.
Yeah, or she is trying to diffuse the situation. See,
or that.
She lucky she not me. Because I would have left him and said, try it again. Something. My endorsements are up, so I can take a fine. Okay. Yeah. Some of y'all broke WNBA players can't take no fine. Respectfully.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But what I'm saying is the reaction around the hair pull and the commentary around that, oh, she overreacted. She just did the third. So ain't none of y'all ever almost got into a fight at the LA Fitness. Ain't none of y'all almost ever got into a fight at the rec because somebody just did something too much. And you like, hey, bro, come on, bro.
Yeah, right.
That's the same exact thing. All she did was, hey, you get your hair pulled. I don't care. You got weed, natural. You get your hair pulled. You got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So when I turn around and old girl was like, no, baby girl, stand on it. Oh, yeah, that was me. Like, I feel like if you did it intentionally, then stand on it intentionally.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to duck, okay? So that's one of my biggest things as far as what scuffs my Timbs, okay? You have players who go outside their way to foul somebody, but then when the energy is met and matched, I'm sorry, it was just an accident. No. Because that fast forwards me to the Sun, Connecticut Sun in Indiana game, right? Everybody been talking about it. We had the finger in the eye, okay? Accidental, it happens, okay? Right. Especially in this new age W when women have long nails. I don't come from a school of play where girls is worried about the length of their nails. I come from a school of play where you want them things filed down as low as possible so you can have your hands on the rock.
Facts.
That's where I come from, right?
Yeah.
Notice the bulk that's really doing it don't have nails. Okay, I just want to put that out there. The ones that really got handles, they don't have no nails. So anyway, we got JC Sheldon. Shout out to her. Former Ohio State Buckeye. Go Bucks. Okay, playing good aggressive defense. She has been doing that her whole life. That's what she's known for. Finger go across the eye. Of course, if I'm Caitlin, I'm hot too. Damn, dog, you too close. You feel me? Like, because you ain't supposed to be. She dribble, so it ain't like she is in the triple threat and your hands got to be high. She's dribbling away from the basket.
Yeah.
So at this point, your hands don't need to be high right now. Okay, so your hands high for no reason. I guess you scared that she might pull up a shot, but you got to understand where her hips are, where her shoulders are. Her shoulders and her hips not facing the basket. So she's not about to shoot. So you be up here with it. So that's just poor defense for my mom, but it's okay. If unintentional things happen, finger going eye. Caitlin reacts. This is all natural. This is all basketball. Caitlin give her a little pushback. Okay, this is all natural. This is all basketball. I'm not even mad at that. The play continues though, right? So here's what scuffs my Timbs. Somebody foul me. I might not like it. What I'm not about to do, run to the refs. Hey, refs, you see, if I like the foul is egregious, I'm going to talk to you about it. I don't care about what no refs got to say.
Yeah.
If I feel like you intentionally poked me in my eye, and if I'm Caitlin, since this ain't the first time she didn't poke in the eye, I probably do feel like, damn, these niggas, these motherfuckers targeting me. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they jealous or whatever, but I feel like maybe they might be a little OD when it comes to guarding me. You can feel that way. When it happens, stand on it. Don't go cover. And that's what scuffs my Timbs about the Indiana Fever. I feel like you got Caitlin and you got her lynchman. You got Caitlin, you got her bodyguards. So when there is intense moments in the game and everybody is running up to, protect Caitlin as you should. That's your star player. But if Caitlin is in the midst of the shuffle, at some point, Caitlin got to protect herself. Okay? When you shove somebody's back, okay, you got your lick back. She poked you in the eye, you shoved her back. And then you run to the refs like, hey, look, they already called the foul. It ain't no need for you to go crying and complaining to the refs. Fast forward to play. The other part that scuffs my Timbs is the referees just don't get involved soon enough. You got to know the history. You got to know JC Sheldon and Caitlin Clark been going back and forth since college. Okay? Caitlin Clark then got the dubs, but the intensity between these two players have always been there. If you a referee, why you don't know that?
You got to do your homework. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm tired of these new age referees. They just picked up at the local Walmart. Like, hey, you work in sporting goods. You work in Dick's Sporting Goods. Come on here and be a ref at the WNBA. Where's refs coming from?
Yeah.
They called 3 technicals, no flagrants. Today they upgraded the tech on Mabry to a flagrant. Hold on, you paused the game for about 15 minutes live, and you still didn't get the calls right.
Right now, and
the next day in review.
You're right, and mind you, that happened in the third quarter, right? So at this point, near the end of the third quarter. So at this point, it's near the end of the third quarter. So how much physicality has it been the first half and then the beginning of the third? That wasn't the first time it was like maybe an extra push, maybe somebody said something, maybe so this is not mind. And then this is what leads to the end of the game, which we're going to get to the end of the game, is because even at this point they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough. Okay, Mabry get the tech. All right, cool, because she did push, but maybe that should have. So I'm not saying Mabry should have got ejected for the push, because I feel like Caitlyn maybe flopped a little bit, right? I mean, it was a push. She did push her. But then it's like, what do you do though at that point? Because I feel like it all escalated. I don't feel she should have got ejected because she only pushed her. She ain't like swat at her. She ain't, so it's kind of tough. But I feel like it all led up into the end of the game, what happened in the last minute of the game, to where it was 3 ejections at the end of the game. Exactly. So it was just like, I feel like you were saying, referees, you gotta take control of the game earlier. Don't wait till we get like with the Angel Reese situation, right? Like that wasn't like that was out of nowhere, right? That was like, oh, she pulled her hair. It was not like it was brewing the whole game. So they should have stopped that. That kind of happened in a moment. They got over it. Yeah, it was it was intense for them 5 minutes or whatever, like real time 5 minutes. But that was really it. Even after the game, people hugged up, smiling, whatever. Yeah. But this was brewing over time, where once Sophie at the end of the game, she hit it with the it was like you couldn't have
Sophie got off on it. But that's the point. It's because when Sophie fouled her, right? When Sophie fouled JC, you know what JC did? Got right up and went to Sophie. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. When you got a problem with something, you go and address the problem. You don't get fouled, get up, run to the refs. Hey, you see, but did you see, bro? Like, you one that got mushed, you know what I mean? Got drugged down, okay? You're going to respond. And so that's my biggest gripe. Just like when with Connecticut, when JC, got up and responded, she didn't run to the refs. She didn't run to all bunch of her teammates like, hey, y'all, let's go get something. She just went right to something.
Right to it,
because I want the smoke. I'm with all of it. She went to something like, girl, I'm with all of it. What you doing? I've been doing this in the Big Ten. They know me for doing this. Yeah. They just met you for doing this. Indiana don't know who you are, Sophie Cunningham. They just met you. Now, people like me, I love the way Sophie play. I love the intensity. I like an aggressive player. I like a player who don't give a. I'm like that. I don't care about it. Okay, but as long as we can keep it basketball, at least a little bit more, ladies. At least a little bit more. So, Caitlyn, reply to your own beef. If it's beef, ask where the fries at. Okay.
Yeah.
For the rest of the ladies, Mabry, if you commit a foul, stand on it. And she did. She back there doing the Millie Rock.
She protected her young guns, man. Like, so I feel that that's what she's doing. Mabry, she feel like she the OG of the team. It was only 2 people left from that team from last year. Well, 1.5 because she got traded during the season. So if you say 1.5, so that's kind of, she feel like she's the OG of that team. So, she came to the defense of her teammate, which I don't really knock at all, but this year has been, I feel like this year already, this might have been the most altercations, and it ain't even playoffs yet. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of altercations already. It ain't even half. We ain't even make it to All-Star. Oh, yeah, speaking of All-Star real quick, All-Star voting started last Thursday. So vote for your WNBA All-Stars.
I'm voting. I keep voting, and then watch the email because they'll say, your vote count for double today. So let me go ahead and get my double Angel Reese points.
Yeah.
What else scuff your Timbs, or did we tap on it?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, other than that, the only thing that scuffed my Timbs was the fact that, again, like I said earlier, the Liberty lost one game. The game that they lost that cost them the Commissioner's Cup championship game. But other than that, like I want the refs to referee the game sooner. Don't wait till the last minute. Like, even if the first couple minutes you got to call a couple quick whistles, it's like, okay, all right, they ain't playing it. You know what I mean? Like, you got a certain games, like you said earlier, they gotta know the history of certain players, certain teams. You gotta know that history. Even like I said, dang, that's not even really a foul. Like, now like, okay, I'm not even really touching them because they on stuff today. You know, so referee just take control of the game sooner.
Sooner. Yep. All right. We're going to go here and wrap it up with our last and final segment called Playas F Up. You heard? Go ahead and kick it off for us.
Yeah, man. So this is another new segment we got, man. Playas F Up. You know, and where's my man Mike Epps on next Friday? Yep. Playas F Up, man. It happens. It happens. Playas F Up. So what we gonna do, this is the segment to where previous episodes, it might have been a misquote, wrong stat, wrong name given, just a mistake. Yeah. We players F Up. It's going on. We love what we doing. We talking. You know, sometimes like, oh, I think. So I'm gonna just say, you know, but then we go back, we watching it, and just like, oh, that was wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back, correct it. So Playas F Up. This is the new segment. Another new segment we got on Her Court, Her Rules. So I got two. I messed up twice. I effed up twice. Okay. I messed up twice. So the one I'm gonna correct when it comes to Jackie Young, her contract. On my first episode, but it was episode 2. When it came to her contract, I stated that her contract was $252,000 was the extension over like 2 or 3 years. So I averaged that out to like 75,000. That actually would have been 83,000, but that's not even right. Her extension was actually a 2-year extension, a little over 500,000. It was 502,000 for 2 years, which extension, 2 years, 502,000, which is a base annual of about 250,000. So I shorted you, Jackie. My bad. That 250,000 is definitely sound way better than 83,000. My bad.
Jackie owed me a biggie meal, dog.
My bad. So that's one. So my bad. As of right now, I was right when I said she's the highest paid annually paid WNBA player. Asia got 200,000, but that once the new CBA come at the end of this year, she more than likely will be the highest paid. She probably get 500,000, something crazy annually. So shout out to that. My other one was when it came to the last episode when I shouted out Jeff Teague and I called it the 500. What did I call it?
520 podcast, I think.
I called it 520 Club. That's not what it's called. Let me get right. It's actually Club 520 Podcast.
Okay.
I called it 520 Club Podcast. That's not it. It's Club 520 Podcast. That's with Jeff Teague, Behan, and Wells. And Wells. You said what?
Chandler Parson, he not on it anymore?
He on there. He be like here and there, but he ain't on like every episode. Yeah. But he is on there as well. So shout out to them. I just had to correct that. You know, I like plugging people, so I want to make sure when we plugging people, we doing it the right way. So that's where I effed up as a player.
Oh, you know what? It happens. It happens. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You heard? Shout out to everybody for pulling up to another episode of Her Court, Her Rules. I hope y'all appreciate the commentary. Hope y'all got a couple great laughs. Real quick before we head on out, I just want to shout out to one of the people that replied to our video and put a good quote on there. So shout out to all the people that are engaging with us on YouTube. We are building this community over here, and we just want to, help it grow. So Mr. J Mar 5127 on YouTube, shout out to you for putting your comment on our video. We're going to break this comment down, okay, because there are going to be more comments. Okay, so everybody who's watching this, hit the comment section, because we're going to have an entire section or entire segment where we just reading the comments and going back and forth and having some dialogue with y'all. So again, appreciate everybody for tuning in to Her Court, Her Rules right here on Beyond the Lens TV, powered by Free Your Lens. I'm Naj.
Your boy Hustle.
Yep, and we signing out till we meet again, y'all. Peace.
Holla.